Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Karina, good morning to you. S, good morning. Ionis, hello. Daryl, good morning. Exponential, good morning. Jan, how you doing? Sick, excellent. Okay, right. I got it sorted out, Jan. I managed to get this on there, so I like this. So hopefully we get a trade. We can see how this works. Speedy, how you doing? So I did take a trade slightly earlier on one of my accounts. I like this. My guess was price was going to push up and stop out these kind of areas. We kind of had a couple of bounces, so I like that. I thought it was worth the trade, and I did that on one account for $300 odd. John, how you doing, buddy? So I posted some wallets this morning, so hopefully you should be getting them in a week, something like that, week, 10 days, I don't know. Some were for US, some were I think it was a couple of US, one London, and a couple of others, was John, Malaysia, and something else. So hopefully they shouldn't take too long. So we've got some news coming up in around about 15 minutes, some medium impact news and some high impact news. So I've got my alarms on there, courtesy of Jan. I always put this on there anyway, just to sort of remind me. Sorry for the icon to show ticks. It was late night when oh, this thing here. Ah, it's okay, mate. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. So let's hope we have a better day today. It wasn't a terrible day yesterday. I took a loss, but then I took a win. So I think I ended up $125, $130 down, somewhere along those lines. I hope I look okay on that picture. I've adjusted the picture size today, and I think I've squeezed myself together a little bit. I look a bit skinnier in the face. Let me just adjust that. Image. Yeah, that's not the one. Let me look. I don't know how to reset it. Trouble is, once you mess with it, it can make it look a bit weird. So we've had the channel up there with a break. This looks like we're testing the highs. Video capture, that's the one. There we go. Let me just stretch myself out a little bit. Whoa, too much. Somewhere along those lines, I'm guessing. I don't know. I might have to have a play around with that later. Brandon, how you doing, buddy? So we've had a channel with a break at a new low. See what happens here. I want to be careful just getting into a. Let's have a look. So we had a little micro channel there with a break at a new low. Strong push above the EMA. See if we can maybe get a second entry long here. Or is this thing coming down? It's hard to say, really. What I did notice, we were finding a lot of support right along that midline. You can clearly see it multiple times here, here, even here, and there as well, and there and here, and once again. So whether this thing does come down, it certainly could do. See, I had that as a channel up. It looked okay. It was touching multiple times, and it kind of continued into this sort of two-tiered channel. Trouble is, if that is a break, you've got to be careful going short here. We've pushed down below the EMA. We could get a second entry short to come down, but it's not what I would feel comfortable doing. So that's interesting. Do we take a second entry short there? It just doesn't feel natural, to be honest with you. I mean, that's, we push up strong and then we drop. The only issue I have is with this channel, and we got a break. We've had one attempt to go higher. It looks like it's working. It just doesn't feel natural. part of it, the setup looks okay. The context for me is just a little bit off. Perhaps it's just me. It is a second entry short. The only issue I have is after a break of this channel, I'm looking to test the highs. So if you'd have taken that trade, you would have got some points out of it. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It comfortably went for 3 points. What did you think of that, Jan? Did you get into that, Jan? It's because of this channel with a break and then a strong push up, a strong push down, you just don't know what's going on. It just didn't seem natural. I mean, if we were in a downtrend, then yeah, I mean, perhaps we are. You took it 1-3 for 3, yeah. Too close to the open. Yeah, it's just S. It's a wider channel down. It's possible, yeah. The trouble is you don't quite know. See, after this, and I like the channel because it followed this really nicely. And if this wasn't going to be in a channel, I don't think that'd work, but it pushed strong. I like the reason I took it is yes, it is into the highs, but it's right tight on that EMA, which I like. It makes a big difference, that, and it did work beautifully. But then when we have a break of it in a new low, I'm looking to test this area, or at least make an attempt. We made one attempt. Perhaps that was a second attempt. We had a break, 2 attempts. It just wasn't a very good attempt to push higher, this. 6-tick target, like that, some wide. 8-tick. Yeah, I actually go for 3 points now, but I suggest if you move from something, I would say go to 2 points first. Get used to it a little bit. Tested yesterday's close and rejection. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could say it is 2 attempts. What I like about it is it pushed up and then immediately rejected. And it is a second entry short. The setup looks nice. It's just the context. I wasn't expecting that. You know, we've had a relatively strong bounce off here, so I'm thinking we're going to... And not only that, we had a lot of support along the midline, and we managed to get above it. But then we sold off. So maybe there is some kind of a channel down. I think it's a bit early for me, really. That's a bit early. It's a bit broad. What I would say is, you know, maybe something like that, but we struggle to get down to the bottom. Yeah, you just got to be so careful. Hey, bro, why is this easy order add-on? Well, it's a good question, that is. It's a very good question, because I struggled to get it to update yesterday. That's a good point, Jan. If you go into the downloads, it's an exe file, not a zip file. And when I opened it, it ran as a program as opposed to dragging it in. Now, I can't remember what I did. Usually I get by with computers, but I messed around and had a bit of a fidget and managed to get it to work. But yeah, maybe you can shed some light on that, Jan. I was a little bit flummoxed, for want of a better word, myself. It installs a zip file. I made it so the user must accept the license. Okay, yeah, I couldn't sort of figure out how to do it. I managed to do it in the end. So is this 2 legs down and a push up? Maybe it is. Okay, my guess is that's what it is. A leg and a push up. We'll see anyway. Okay, so 5-minute news. Places the zip on the desktop. Yeah, I managed to do it in the end, but I'm relatively computer savvy, but I'm not super technical. Okay, so that to me then is now looking like a correction with a push up. So what news is first? It's the medium impact news. I still suggest you be careful with these. They can get you into big trouble, the medium impact. Now, I don't know why all of a sudden over the last few months the medium impact's changed, but I remember a couple of months before Christmas, I've never even bothered with it. I haven't paid attention to the medium impact, but we had a massive move of about 20 points within a split second. And then from then on, medium impact news seems to play a role. I don't really quite know why. So we've had a leg down, one attempt to go higher. This is kind of what I was expecting here. Leg down, one attempt higher, second attempt higher. This still could push down, but we're definitely finding some support along here. There's no argument there. It is a second entry short, but it's massive. So tempting to take that, but it's so big. It's nearly 30. Well, it's a tick above, tick below. It's 30 ticks, just too much. And bearing in mind, it's close to the news as well. It is two clear attempts to push higher. So my gut feeling is it probably will come down again. But it's 28 ticks, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking 30 ticks. That's horrendous. It's about 7 or 8 points. I'm guessing it probably will come down. That's quite significant selling there. It's tempting, but I'm gonna hold on. See if we get a lower high. I don't think we will. I think we'll just topple. So tempting, but it's 30 ticks with a tick above and below. It's just too much. And we got news in 3 minutes. You may end up stuck in it. So it's a shame it wasn't a little bit smaller because I like it. It's bounced in the right place. You may consider it a triple test. I mean, it clearly worked. A leg down, a couple of attempts. So I think it's a shame really when it's such a big risk, but it's a lot of selling. So, maybe you just think to hell with it. Let's just, let's just give it a whirl. But okay, 2 minute news. Yeah, I mean, it clearly worked beautifully, no issues, and it worked quick. I thought it might do, but one, we've got the news, and two, I don't really want to get into a trade for 30 ticks. It's just too much, I think, personally. Now, especially after yesterday. Let's have a look. So if you go a tick above, tick below, you're risking 7.5 points. It's a lot of risk, that, for one trade. 7.5 points. I mean, it clearly made that much, but it's just too much. I wouldn't take this because also it's a little bit congested there, and that is right in the middle. And news is coming up rapidly. Less than 30 seconds. One, two, three. If this rejects here, then and there is two legs up, then you can argue for a triple test. We're clearly finding support right the way along here. I like it. It's a second entry short. It seems okay, but maybe aggressive. I mean, the aggressive thing for me would be purely the size of the bar. This ATR might need to bump up to 12 ticks. What is it at the moment? 4 point something, yeah. I mean, I go for 3 points anyway. I would have suggested with a strong move like that, you'd be looking at breaking that area there. So I think you could probably get away with it. Is the news out? Is it? Yeah, it is. I mean, if you put it there, I mean, you could comfortably get, your money back. you know, it's such a nice bar. It's just big and close to the news. You'd expect it to break that, I would have suggested. Okay, so that's the medium impact news out the way. Didn't really do a lot, to be honest with you. But we have got some now that, I don't know, one could argue this is a triple test, but it's congested here. I'd like that to push further up. It's going to get stopped out that for sure, I think. Push up, sideways, push up. So, I think we've got about 14 minutes till the next round of news. So, I mean, you could say a hidden second entry short there. I'm just sitting tight here at the moment. I don't like that stem. Lower high, I think, would be a better option. I'd like it to just break above this and then turn down. So it's cleared out any of that lot. Leg, sideways leg. I'd find that easier, Jan, having a straightforward zip file. I can't remember what I did. I just tried a bunch of different things and managed to work because it was kind of running. You know, I think if you're going to have updates to it, it might be easier, actually. If it's not too much trouble, buddy. If it's not too much trouble, we don't want to put you out. You know, we know you do a lot of, you spend a lot of time doing all this. If it's not too much trouble, I think it'd be easier, certainly for me. I think you're a little bit more tech savvy than I am. Probably most of us here as well, I'd say. Brilliant. You're a good one. You're a good one. What do you think will happen tomorrow with the US tariffs? Well, it's funny. We're on the eve of the US tariffs, and look at the ATR. I mean, there's been quite a bit of volatility, and that ATR's up. That's the highest it's been for a while. Now, you know, if you remember back maybe a couple of weeks, that ATR was 5 or 6 on average throughout the day. And then eventually it slowly worked its way down, but it seems like it's climbing. So maybe, you know, people are nervous to see what happens. I know there's tariffs coming into the UK, I believe. I don't know what the UK are going to, you know, what their response is going to be. You know, at the end of the day, it's business, isn't it? I dare say he's got his reasons. But yeah, you never quite know. You never quite know. But, you know, based on the daily, when Trump came into office, we had a lot of volatility and a lot of downward movement. But, you know, a lot of people say a correction of maybe 8 to 10% is probably a good thing. But, you know, your guess is as good as mine, I think. Got my Apex t-shirt on today again. It's actually really comfy, I've got to say, for a t-shirt. Got a couple of them somewhere. I know they went for a phase of giving them out, didn't they? So I had an email and sent for one. They sent me one back for free, and then I had another email. So I thought perhaps they want me to have 2. So I took full advantage. So let me have a little look. Now, bearing in mind, we have got some more news coming up, so just keep that in your eye line. What time are we? We've got about 9 minutes. Now, ISM manufacturing, now that could be a little bit jobs job open as well. It could be a little bit more dramatic, that. That looks like 2 legs up to me. We got a leg up with a break, 2 legs back and a second leg up. Oh, I knew there was something missing. I'm hunting round for the time. Trouble is, it's in this big wide monitor, it's so small. That's why I like that, just to have a clip perfect. I love that. I can tell exactly what time it is in a split second, so it's perfect. It's just too small. That it's very small up there. You know, I can see it, but you've got to zoom in for a couple of seconds. And so we've got a leg down. I wouldn't be going here. After this channel, it's too hunched. So I would prefer 2 legs there. I would prefer that. And then something like that. Thereabouts. Maybe even slightly lower towards that EMA, leg and a leg. Who knows? I've taken trays like this before when it's really cramped together, and so many times it'll trigger you and stop you out. I mean, it is technically 2 legs down. You can see the first leg and the second leg. So by the count, it's a second entry long, but it's too congested and compressed together. So many times it will trigger you, and then woof, down it will come. It's triggered that bar as well. So if you didn't take that, it's going, look, follow me. There's another bullish bar. If you don't get in now, you're going to get stuck. Triggers you, comes straight down, stops you out. It almost looks like they suck you in. It really does. It's frustrating when it does that, but I used to get stuck in that all the time. If you don't jump in there, you get another bullish bar, and then that encourages you. You know, it didn't trigger me and stop me out, so we're definitely going up. All of a sudden, you jump in, so anyone who took that, it triggers you, comes straight down, stops you out. I don't know why it does that. Perhaps it's designed to pick off weak positions. I don't know. Who knows? So news is 7 minutes away. So we've had a leg and a leg back. There is a bar, my other 2. It's very tempting, this, but I'm going to stay out of this. It's just something about it I don't like. I don't know. Part of me thinks it'd probably work to take out that, but look, it's coming back already. I think it may hold. You just never know. There's just not a huge amount of room to their highs there, so I think you've got to be a little bit cautious here, unless you're getting on a limit order. If you get in, say, there, yeah, you may get 3 points to pop above that. I think it probably will. Sometimes it just goes a bit sideways and just spooks you a bit. I think it would probably work. It's just too congested, really. It is 2 legs, but just look, it's struggling, isn't it? So my gut feeling, it will probably break above there, but it's just not for me. It came down, literally touched the EMA, went a tick below it and pushed back up. Now that may mean something, but yeah, look at this now. This is looking like a triple test here. This may drop. I'm not getting involved here at the moment because it might not. So yeah, if you'd have taken this on the second, it may be okay. But it's just something about it. The bar isn't fantastic. So there we go. We're going to bounce. Okay, 5 minutes to the news. So is it going to take that out? Yeah, it has done. So it's a shame, really, but you know, the bar wasn't fantastic. I just don't like this. We got very close to that measured move. So I don't count now. I just look and think, do I like it or don't I like it? And that for me was just, Second entry long. Break attempted a new high. I'm not liking this. Target lines, this thing here, yeah, I'll play around with it, yeah. Let's have a go of it. This, folks, it's a target line, I think Jan calls it. You can set it to wherever you want, and when price hits it, it gives you an alarm. I believe it can drop, does it message or an email you as well? So if you, I don't know, if you're looking to get short up here and you don't want to sit through all this, it'll give you an alarm. You know, maybe if you were shorting at these levels, you put the alarm here and, you know, it lets you know. Now, you know, from a price action point of view, I can't see me using it in massive amounts, but if you were trading something like the 15-minute or a bigger chart, a bigger time frame, that definitely would be useful. So it's a really useful bit of kit, that. Let's just put it here and see it go. Now, I won't hear the alarm, you guys will. It should trigger above that. There we go. So I'm guessing you can hear that. Alarms requested by someone using day charts. That makes perfect sense. Really useful, that is, because if you're sitting, you know, if you're sitting on days or whatever, yeah, I didn't think about that. So if you had the daily and you know, let's say obviously a lot of people trade, a lot of people trade levels, don't they? So if you know, if you're longing this level, you could put that alarm down here, and when prices come down to it, or maybe even close to it, rather than you sitting here for an hour or whatever, you know, you can have a little ping. I think you can have an email, so you can have a little ping on your watch or something. You've got a smartwatch or your phone, and then at least then it saves you having to sit through all this. You know, if you want to pick levels, really useful, that. Not to put it down, available on Ninja Trader. Right, I don't know. Okay, news coming up in 2 minutes. So it's hard to know what's going on here. We have had a 2 legs up. We didn't quite make a full leg. And then we've had a break of this channel, attempted a new high and a second attempt. So it kind of looks like 3 attempts followed by a drop. Yeah, Dan did mark that as aggressive. Now, I think the context was great. The aggressive bit for me was purely the size of the bar. It's clearly 2 legs up, big rejection there. It clearly worked. He put that as well. He marked that. Whether he took it, I actually, as I said, the setup looks really nice, really nice. The only issue I have is the context is telling me we could retest these highs. Now, we did. But from a second entry point of view, that is a beautiful setup. But obviously the context had me thinking it could trigger us and ride up to. But it depends if you've got this this channel. Have a look. Yeah, Dan hadn't got that channel. He had this. I think he had this. Something like that, or this. And that might make sense. So channel with a break new high, in which case, if I'd have had that, I'd have jumped all over that. So shame, really. Okay, news is out, I'm assuming. Yeah. So yeah, channel break new high, channel. Trouble is, we've already had a break in a new low, but I think that's okay to take. Real shame, actually. Real shame. It was a nice setup, that. Rather large, but a nice setup nonetheless. Okay. So, good for eval, yeah. So, news is done and dusted. Let's give it a minute to settle. Yeah, the thing about this, click, click, boom, you're done. It's, you know, having things that you get quickly in your eye line just saves a lot less work. You know, I mean, there's a big bunch of space across the top of this, so you could get all sorts of little bits of features that would be useful. So, leg and a leg. Is this coming down? Looks like it, but it's so choppy at the moment, so it could do a bunch of things. There is a second entry short on the 1,000 tick chart, but it's just too far from that EMA. Trouble is, it's hard to read this at the moment. We've got a big drop down, maybe a second entry short up here. Can't take on the 1,000 tick chart, it's just too congested. It is a second entry short. You want that bar up here really though, don't you? It did work. You're thinking, you know, you're going to stop that out. It stopped that out before the thing. Then you got a big bullish bar here, so it kind of makes sense. But it's a bit congested there. It's just a bit too risky to take. So we are finding a lot of support. We broke above it and we close back into it. We broke above it and we close back under it. So there's a lot of support there. Got lucky and I fell second entry long. Yeah. I mean, we all kind of have that bit of stuff where we get into a trade that may be a little bit questionable. You know, a little bit of luck can help you sometimes. At the end of the day, it's a win. The thing about those trades is you do learn from them as well. If you realise you're a bit lucky, you've had a free lesson there. Well, actually, a profitable lesson. So we all do them. I get into trades, you know, sometimes that are a bit questionable, but that's okay. It's all about learning and developing. You know, this doesn't come overnight. You just keep getting better and better. Am I lucky? Well, I think I got my first payment ever from Apex, I think, based on about 90% luck, to be honest with you. Put it this way, Apex were just paying out back then when I got my first payment 2 years, 3 months ago. But if they'd have been denying there, I'd have probably waited for 12 months to get my first genuine payout. Okay, so is there a channel down here? Trouble is, we do seem to be finding maybe a bit of support there, so you've got to be a little bit cautious here. Yeah, I'm seeing a bounce here. It's very rangy today, isn't it? I will say that. That's a shame. Test the 56 level, it may well do. It's a measured move. About, excuse me, from here, are you? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It does look like a leg down with a, in fact, that actually looks like more of a correction than you think, I think. So look. Yeah, look at that. Right off there. Leg down, correction. That would make good sense, actually. That would make sense. See, the trouble is, very tempting to look for a second entry short there. Trouble is, we've bounced there again. We are finding some support there. Is that going to hold? Trouble is, you could argue it's a triple test. It's not looking like it's going to. Unfortunately, we got nothing here really. We kind of push back up. If we can get a second entry short, it may work. That for me is vulnerable, and the way this is trying to push down, and if it does break below there, it may have quite a strong push. See, Dan's got that as a small break. It's arguable, isn't it? See if we have another push above here. It's looking to me like it's going to break that. I just don't think it's going to come back. I think it's just going to, well, there you go. It's a shame there, really. I got no setups in any of my charts, unfortunately. Once it breaks below there, there's bound to be buyers there. And obviously, as it broke below there, down it came. So it looks like you may be right here, mate. It's a shame, actually, a second entry there. The only thing that put me off is this, but if you get a good, solid second entry short there, I think you're likely going to kiss goodbye to that. I mean, we didn't get a setup, but it still came down nonetheless. So, see, I haven't got that as a break. To me, it kind of fits nice, so it's... I'm not so sure. Yeah, so Dan's got it like this. Mac does that a lot. I don't quite understand why they do that. It doesn't seem to make sense to me for some reason. Just have a look at this. So he's got that breaking out there, which creates that break. I'm going to have a message with him and find out why he does that. He obviously does it for a reason, so he's kind of got it like that. Which then we got a clear break. Got the second entry short. There have you. I got nothing on. Well, the 1,000 tick chart maybe. It's hard to say. I left it, but then obviously it just dropped. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You know, the thing I try and keep in mind, if I can get three winning trades a week, I can make all the money I want. So I tend to really wait for I've got something, you know, nice and obvious. We get a little double bottom there. Yeah, see, I'm not sure about that. I don't see why that doesn't look nice still. It's hard to say. Look, it's still, it's holding. See, Dan does it that way. Thomas Wade does it completely different. Let me find one of Thomas Wade's charts. There you go, Thomas Wade. See what I mean? Thomas Wade does it right from the top, right to the top, right top. And I do. I don't quite understand why Dan does it. I'm going to have a word with him about that and find out why he does it. But Thomas Wade's got that. And in all honesty, this to me is still involved. So maybe we're going to get 2 legs up and then another push down. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he does. I don't quite know why he does it. He's obviously got his reasons. So maybe fail break out of this. You expect that to come down to this measured move, I would. I'd just like it to get close to that. Let's just get an order here, just in case.
Order submitted.
Couple of legs up. Touch this area. Oh, yeah. Do you know what?
Order
I
cancelled.
looked at that on the 1,000 tick chart, a leg and a leg and a tiny bearish bar. That is super small. How big is it? You're looking at a 2.25 point risk, which is about as small as you get at the moment. The ATR is more than double that. Trouble is, it just moved that quick. I didn't have chance. Two clear legs back right at the EMA. I think that was worth the risk. Now, we didn't have anything on this, and I didn't have anything on my second one, which is why sometimes this 1,000 tick chart, beautiful second entry short, clearly two legs up, and look at it work. It's a bit frustrating that. That's why that 1,000 tick chart sometimes just breaks up. But you can't take a short here, not a chance. Both can be valid on slightly different time frames. Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite know why he does exactly. Oh well. See, that looks nice to me. It's kind of fitting perfectly. You're done for the day. Hay fever in the UK, is it really? Grief. Fortunately, touch wood, I've never had it. But I know it's a problem, isn't it? Vlad also said, anchor after the range break for a channel. And I tried to do that. Jay, quick question for you. Wallet in the post, by the way. I'm tempted to do another 12 months with Mac, actually, to sign up. Still worth doing? I've never spent much time in the forum. Is it still worth the value, do you think? Just for the forum? I've never really spent much time in the forum. What's your opinion, bud? I to eat raw garlic and onions. I think I'd rather suffer. Raw, I don't know what's worse, raw onions or raw. I'm guessing raw onions. I used to belong in a pool league years ago when I was about 20, and whoever lost, whoever played the worst, had to eat a raw onion. It wasn't pleasant. We had a lemon once. That was a lot easier. I like the mid-morning charts that Dan posts. It's only $120, isn't it? So it's about £90 English. Yeah, I might have another year. I have had 2 years over the last sort of 3.5 to 4. I think I did a year, then I had a break for 6 months, did another year. But I think it's good to go back, isn't it? And post them on it. Yeah, he does. I think sometimes it's good to go. The trouble is, I got to say, the last time I posted some in the forum, someone ripped me a new arsehole, to be honest with you, because you know how we talk about Mac? Not in a bad way, but sometimes people get quite offended. Just the fact that you may prefer him to do something. Try it for £10 a month to see what you want. Yeah, I might do. Trouble is, I think majority of people in the Facebook group know me now. And some people get very protective over Mac. Don't get me wrong, I am as well. I think the bloke's a diamond. Just because I prefer certain things doesn't mean I value him. I tried your code on Apex. It's only 50% now. Yeah, it is, bud. Have I not deleted it? Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, it finished last night. I did mention it yesterday. Sorry, let me just remove that. My mistake. Yeah, let me just delete it. My mistake. My apologies. Yeah, it is 50% off at the moment. You may still be able to do a reset. So if you've recently blown an account, you can reset it, I think, for $40. So if you have got one of those and you need one, oh, it's 71%, is it? This morning, 71% off. Oh, okay. I haven't had my email. Let me have a check. I haven't had an email this morning. got to change things up compared to Mac. I'm going for like 4 ticks. It's important to make the strategy fit. What's the notary, the market? Yeah. So it's 71% off. I'll change that later. In fact, let me just put something on here now quickly. Let me just change this. Ref might be a good idea. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. There you go. My mistake. 71% off. So I haven't had an email yet, strangely enough. Okay, now we've got a little double bottom here. And we've more or less, in fact, we probably have if I keep this tight. There's that measured leg. So we're a tick away from it. So whether it'll make a difference or not, I don't know. But there is a little double bottom there, so you've got to be a bit cautious here. Last post I did on there mentioned range bars. Mac and Vlad told me to behave myself. Right. Okay, there is a second entry short there. Well, not now. I'm just being a bit cautious here because we look like we've got a little double bottom here. He doesn't have any filters, does he? I might leave it. Yeah, this looks to me like it's about ready to push up. Perhaps it may finish this off. Who knows? But tells it how he sees it. Yeah. It's only 100. Well, it's less than £100 to be honest with you. So even just to go back over some things, mind you, the times we talk about points, if I say a word in the forum, I might get ripped to pieces and I might regret spending the £100. I never mean anything bad to Mac at all. You know, I absolutely value him. I think he's given me a skill for life. But some people, when you talk about, you know, I wish you do this, some people get a bit offended by it. Try it for a month. Yeah, I didn't realise you could do that, can you? I might give it a go. You can pay just £10 for a month, can you? Or $10. I'll have a go at that. And his older premium stuff. Yeah, sometimes I think it's good to go. I'll have a go at that later. Sometimes I think it's good to go over the basics now and again, isn't it? Because sometimes you slip, don't you? You know, I suppose it's like learning to drive. We all pick up bad habits, don't we? Only the forum, I don't believe. That's fine. I might just stick my nose in there, and if I get punched, I'll leave it. I'll just do the month. Yeah, that's fine. So this is interesting. There's a trapped short there. I don't want to go long in this, but looking on that 1,000-tick chart, oh, it's not. I thought it was a lower high. It's not. But this to me is going to push above this. I'm guessing. This to me looks like a bottoming pattern. I could be completely wrong, but look how many times we're bouncing there. So my gut feeling is we've hit that measured move now. Let's see where this goes. Could be completely wrong, of course. Okay, measured move made. Well, this looks like it's lightly going to get down to, is that yesterday's open, was it? Looks like it. So with this big move down, we could be going down for a second leg on the daily. Who knows? Starting to look quite bearish. Well, I thought it was. You can't see me. Bear me a second. Have I deleted the wrong thing? Oh, please tell me I haven't deleted the wrong thing, have I? Oh, 1 second. Where have I gone? Bear me a second. It's got rid of my camera for some reason. Video capture device. Okay. I've got to go through all this again. Please no. Holy schmoly. Let's just see if I can keep going back. See if that does anything. Damn. There we are. There I am. I do not know what happened there. Bear me a second. Video capture device. Let me just... disappeared. Yeah, I think I deleted that and deleted the wrong thing, I think. You nutter. What am I like? Sure, I'm a bit wider than that. My apologies. Some may say that's a good thing. Surely I'm wider than that. Not that wide. That might be somewhere. I need to find something round to look at. Transform, reset, transform. Whoa, too big. I'm not sure whether that's right. Maybe not terrible. I'll have to do for now. bear with me. Throw that to the left a bit. That's about better, isn't it? No, don't follow back. It follows me. The damn thing follows me for some reason. I don't know why. That'll do for now. I've got it set to follow me. Stop following me. Yeah. Sorry, lad. Okay, I'll have to do. So, let's change this back to where it was, or should be. Not trading here anyway at the moment, so 71. Set off. Okay, I'll update that in this later. Just put it there for now, just in case anyone's looking into anything. Sorted. Okay. There's a lower high there. Channel break, new high, lower high. It's just so bloody big again. I was so close to taking that. Maybe just for a couple of points. It didn't work. Channel break. Test at the bottom here. Let's put that up a bit. Yeah, it's tested in the right place. Lower high. Trouble is, with such a big move, I'd expect a little bit more than that. So I'm guessing I'd like to see two legs somewhere along those nerves. I'd like to see something like that. We may not get much higher because we've bounced off this. So I think that was a nice trade. I'd have taken that for 2 points just back to the EMA. It is a second entry short, lower high. Come on, back to... Waiting for a new low. Trouble is, with such a big move, usually we'll do a little bit more. I mean, it may be as simple as channel break, one attempt higher, second attempt higher. I mean, leg and a leg. We may not even get up here because we are finding, you know, some support here. So channel break, couple of attempts to go high, and it may come down, make a new low. Certainly may well do. 6 points thrown away. It happens, mate. It happens. Certainly think it was worth it back to the EMA. I wouldn't expect it just to do that and then come straight down. Oh, that's a surprise. Okay, see what happens now. This is getting really interesting. Okay, Possible second entry short. Is that triple test? It's a bit too clamped for me, but I'm guessing this may stop that out. We shall see. We know we've got support there. Let's just see if it holds. So we managed to break above there by a tick. Now let's see if there's sellers up here. I'm guessing there may be. Okay.
Order
have a go at
submitted.
this. 1, 2, 3, triple test. I may follow that down, to be honest with you. We'll see. See how it works. Once we get down here, I may follow it down. Hopefully it doesn't take me out. I don't need 2 losses in a row. Oh, you bummer. Oh, I had a reprieve. Come on, drop. Come on, there's a higher low there. There's a higher low. Triple test. Come on, drop. If we get below here, we're okay. Otherwise, we're screwed. Come on, baby. Push. We need to break below there. Come on. Didn't get me 3 points anyway, so got to get below there. That's got to be taken out, you'd think, wouldn't you? Oh, I'm shocked. Come on. Might give it an extra tick. Not that it'll make a bit of difference. It didn't make me 3 points anyway. There you go. Don't do it. Oh, it's so frustrating when it does this.
Order
Oh,
filled.
that's so annoying. Oh, that's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. That is so frustrating. It went down a bit, just not enough. I wouldn't have got me 3 points anyway, to be honest with you. Let's just dive that away a minute. Oh, that's so annoying. I thought that was going to work when it got below there. It just didn't give me enough, I don't think. Let me have a look. That's where I got in. Or would it? It might have done. Oh, that's so annoying. I thought that was going to just drop like a stone there. That's why I took it down a bit. Where did I get in? So I got in there. So I would have had me 3 points, wouldn't I? Let me have a look. Yeah, I would have done. See what happens when you get a bit greedy. I thought that was really going to work. 1, 2, 3, triple test. It came down. Oh, once it got below there, I thought we were going to be okay. Once it got below there, I was expecting it to tank. Oh, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. Similar situation like 3 days ago. I had a fail second entry along with a downtrend, need a new low, but yeah. I mean, you expected this to come down when it's holding there. I thought there's a higher low. I would not be going higher low there. I expected that to get stopped out, which is why I decided to take more points. There are certain circumstances with triple tests where I want to take more points, and that was one. I wasn't necessarily greedy there. I just thought it's triggered this one. Once it comes below here, if it gets below here, this thing's going to take a dive. It's just unfortunate it happens that way. It was so... I just thought if that drops, it's going to be lovely. So that was where I got in. It didn't stop me out, which is usually a good sign. I thought if it gets down there, I mean, look at that. It's a possible 9.5 points there. I think it was a good setup. Yeah, I mean, it worked for 3.25 points. It would have given me 3.25 points. That's just one of those things, isn't it? It is frustrating when it happens, but sometimes, you know, you've got to do it and you've got to take the points and go for the points if you think it's going to. But so look, I had a ping from someone. Don't tell me. Oh no. Yeah. Oh well. I think the email was holding. Yes, sometimes it does that. It sucks. What I like is we had a channel up with a break and a new high. See, after this, it was testing this line, and that's what was doing it for me. It was holding, so I was expecting it to drop it. Oh, well, it is frustrating. Perhaps I should have just taken the 3 points, but you know, there are circumstances where it's worth holding on, and that was one of them, I thought, but it happens. So, a leg and a leg. Is this thing coming down? Who knows? There is a lower high there. It's kind of 2 legs, isn't it? But no, we're way above that. Measured movies, Matt. Yeah, just got on the wrong way there, didn't I? Oh well. See, it got so close to stopping that out. If it had stopped that out, it'd have been game over. You know, we kind of bounced once, twice. It kind of was a triple test. It was a leg and a leg. It was a second entry, and it did work for a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac marks it, actually. But my gut was it's likely to come down. But there we go. Channel break, new high. Try to go once, try to go twice. Trap it alongs there and there. I thought it was a golden, but oh well. Got some slippage on a couple of them. There's an average of 203 lost, but there's 240, so there's a couple of extra ticks there or something. So, possible overshoot. So we get a lower high anywhere. Yeah, I missed that lower high there. I would have taken it. It just moved that quick. No lower high. Yeah, we did test that, didn't we? Yeah. And there is a lower high there. Overshoot, lower high. Let's see how this...
Order submitted.
I'd expect that to get stopped out. It's a little bit congested there, isn't it? No, I don't like that.
Order cancelled.
Because of the overshoot, I tend to avoid longs. Whether it is an overshoot or not, I don't know, but a lot of the times with the channel, we'll have a break and then make a new low. Oh, shit.
Order submitted.
I made a mistake there. Mistake.
Order filled.
Okay. Is everything closed? It has. Okay, so it's all right. I thought it broke below that bar. It did what I expected it to do. Let me just disconnect and connect. Yeah. It looks slightly different on my other bar. That's why I took it. No more Guardian Angel Trader. Yeah, it's 2 losses. If it's 2 losses, that was the bar I took there. We had a channel down, second entry short, trapping longs there and there, and I expected that to come down. It's all right. The bar hadn't closed when I jumped in. It came down, triggered this and came down quick. The bar hadn't closed, but then it ticked down, which is why I panicked a bit. So it's amazing how varied they are. There's one at 95 down and one at 45 down. There's quite a bit in difference there for some reason. So it was basically that one I took. I might as well mark that one. It was the same thing. Well, let's mark it on here because it might look a bit odd otherwise. So it was that one there. Yeah, so that was the trade I took. It looked like an overshoot to me. We had a channel down. Now, a lot of the times it'll trigger these, as I talk about all the time, and then come down and stop them all out. That's why I took that. It just closed. I got in at the end of the bar. It didn't trigger. It went back a bit and then did, and then it came down quick. So I was in and out relatively quickly. So leg and a leg. And then this is pushing back up again. To start, my funded futures of value. How many ticks would you go for on the NQ? They don't have micro scalping. I go for 30. Do you know what? I can't really comment because I don't fully understand how the NQ works point wise. Maybe someone else can help you there. I'm not super sure how that works with the NQ. Yeah, so with Guardian Angel Trader, I used to trade 2 contracts and had it down as 1 loss. And then the trouble is I was getting scared of taking trades because if I take a loss, I'm kind of out the game. So I decided to drop the risk down to 1 contract and go for 2 losses. So effectively, it's the same amount of loss, but what it does is it just puts a little bit of that control back in, back into you. You know what I mean? So I've got to say, I liked this as well. This came down, stopped out that, which I expected. And then we had a second entry long off there. But after that overshoot and this correction, I'm wary about that. But sometimes overshoots will result in just a correction and it'll carry on. See, Dan has got his chart from there to there. Touch, which is showing that as an overshoot, and that might be why we had that correction. So, it's not black and white this half the time. That's the trouble. There's so much in the way of grey area. Yeah, so it's one of those things. If I extend that, how does it look? Who knows? Yeah, so that one, channel down with a break, 2 attempts to push higher, and it fails. Trapping longs there, and then it did what I expected it, 2 legs down, which is why I got in there. It didn't look as good here. Well, it didn't look bad actually, but it was a failure here. So trigger once. So it was trapping more longs there. That one is a weak position. I expected it to come down, but it looked much better on the 1,000 tick chart, and it obviously came down. So if you'd have got in there, tick below there, you'd have got 4.5 points. So it did everything I kind of expected it to do. Where's my thing gone? Have I took it off for some reason? Oh, there it is. Set your orders tab. Okay. On mine, all the details stay. So let's do it, mate. So I've just got a message from Sean. So when I open an orders tab, so if I open my orders tab down here,
Order
everything
submitted.
shows in the orders. Okay. So you're saying when you close that, all the orders stay there. So if I click close, all the orders
Order
go.
cancelled.
So you're saying, Sean, that all your orders stay there. Is that what you're saying, bud? Yeah. Yeah. Crikey, I don't know, mate. So if I click a buy, if I open a buy order there,
submitted.
it shows it in my orders, yeah? So they're not a position because it hasn't triggered. They're sat in the orders. And then when you click close, they stay
Order
there.
cancelled.
I'm not sure, mate. That's unusual, that is. It doesn't make much sense. What you can do is, and they're pretty quick, is email Ninja Trader and just say, well, just tell them that and ask what they suggest. For the life of me, mate, I don't know why, because, when they're sat there
Order
as an
submitted.
order, they stay there. When they trigger, they move down there to a position. So I really don't know, to be honest with you, mate.
Order cancelled.
It's something that I've never come across. It's never happened. Every order I take or cancel in the details sits there. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, email support there. I'm not sure, bud. Don't seem to make much sense, does it? Mm. I meant to tell you guys as well. I had one of my $500 payments declined or not approved. I'm not sure why. It's one of my later accounts. It might have been one of those ones that I go for a little bit more profit sometimes. So I'm going to adjust March's, which is a shame because 12,000. Nice. That's fine. I was pleased to get over 10,000 anyway. So I'm just going to deduct 500 off that, which makes that 11,700. 11,700. I want to keep track of it. So there you go. It happens anyway. They've set in proper risk management. I'm not too sure why, to be honest with you. Occasionally, when I've had a newer account, I've taken a risk on it. So it may have been one of the ones that was new at the time. I've got to say, Yeah, I'm not bothered because it's fine. The $500 in there. If I trade another 8 days, which I'm obviously going to, I can withdraw 1,000 then if it's there. So I'm not really bothered, to be honest with you. Let's just have a little look here. So. But it happens. I'm not bothered. The trick is not to let it bother you and just crack on with it. It might have been some of the newer accounts I was going for like $700 or $800. If I had $800, that's 2,400, 25, 26, 27. I may not have had. It's hard to say. I may have hit $800 or thereabouts. In which case. My biggest day is over 30% the pot size. I mean, it's 633, the account. No, tell a lie. Yeah, it was just over $2,600, 26 and 13 or something. So that may be the case. But yeah, it doesn't bother me. I'll just trade 8 more days. I'll just mark them off. So, Sam, how you doing, my friend? Long time no see. Are you well? Let's just put that there. See if we've had a bit of a correction. Let's see if we get up here, whether we will or not. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I'm well. Well, things are finally starting to work. 4.5 years of throwing away money and getting frustrated and revenge trading and so having God Angel Trader helped me get out of that habit. And I've had 3 consistent months. Hopefully this month should be the same. So yeah, so all good. So it is frustrating that I almost had a perfect month. If I look on my Trader Sync, look at that. It was them losses yesterday. I had a green month. I had the odd loss, but I ended up making it back. But I had an all green month with the exception of the last day, which that knocked my win percent. So it's down. I like to have my win percentage around about the 90%, but that's okay, I think. But I mean, that's wonderful if you can get that. But it's typical, isn't it? Last day of the month. And not only that, I had a hospital appointment. And I was supposed to have the appointment, but it got cancelled. So if it wouldn't have got cancelled, I wouldn't have had that day. Oh well. It happens. Curious if they move all to live or if some will be left in. Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I've not heard Nutty. Now, Nutty's had $200,000 off him last year. They didn't put him onto a live account. He's still not onto live. Alpine, I believe, is the same. So I don't know. Some of your payers qualify life or others. Yeah, I mean, I think I've had 6 payments on one of them. Well, it says 6 payments. It includes the time you were denied. So I think it's 5 payments because once it was denied. And I can take it all. Well, $2,000, I think. But I figure if I've held it this long and I've made money every month out of it, I might as well continue to make money. It does make sense to take most of it and leave yourself vulnerable. So yeah, I don't know how it works. You don't hear many people talking about live. I'm not aware many people are live. Perhaps they are, and you just don't hear. Better than any fake gurus out there that's getting busted by my man trading. Yeah, it's kind of why I show my emails. Every time I get an email from Amazon. Every time I get an email from Apex, I show you. Every time I get the payment go through from plane. I show you that way. I'm off his radar. Yeah, it is surprising how many people are out there that are sort of claiming they're making a ton of money when they're not. It's odd. Surely these people get found out in the end. You can run, but you can't hide, especially when he's now on the radar. But rightly so, you shouldn't be charging money and not being able to do it yourself. I mean, you know, some people may say the argument, well, yeah, but I've got the skills to trade, I just haven't got the emotional control. So I can show you how to trade, I just can't do it myself. It just sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? Most people don't want to brag about it online. I don't want people knowing how much I make. It doesn't really bother me so much. I'm not making a lot of money. I'm making a small amount compared to some. I mean, Alpine shows says how much he makes. I'm certainly not bragging about it. It's a small amount. It's more. I'm just really pleased. But you know, when I started trading, I think it's nice for some people to see how much you've struggled and then to know you're making money, because it does give other people that bit of a boost. You know, if they see me doing it, they realise it's doable. I wouldn't consider this a lot of money. It's quite a bit to me, but, you know, some people are taking tens and hundreds of thousands out per month. You know, if you look at some of Nutty's videos that shows they're taking massive amounts, I'm small fry, I am. And not only that, you know, a lot of people do say they're making a ton of money when they're not. So if I kind of show you, I've had me messages. No pro traders on big accounts and everyone. It's not passed to live. He wants under John rules. Yeah, I don't quite know how all the live stuff works. You know, I've heard rumours like they clump all your money together and move you to a live account. They take a cut of it. But I would say surely that, you know, they may wait till you get to $25,000, which you can make without paying them any commission, with, you know, without paying them a cut. So perhaps they do it for them. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely got trapped there. I mean, having said that, I mean, it did work. So it did work. I thought that was a bit vulnerable because it's so tight together. Channel break. I expected this to come down, at least make an attempt. You may consider that an attempt. I don't know. But when that triggered, the second entry long failure triggered, and it came down and stopped out. I thought we're trapping traders now. And then we were only 3 or 4 ticks, maybe a bit more, 4 or 5 ticks away from stopping that. If we'd have stopped that out, my gut feeling it was going to come down then. But so, yeah, yesterday's highs. Let's see what happens here. Are you happy with your new curve monitor? Yes, I am, mate. Took a little bit of time to get used to it because I thought my channels were bending, but they're not. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the bit I like about them is they're 1440, so they're better quality. It's crisper and clearer, but yeah, I like them. I like them. I had to treat myself for doing well, didn't I? Well, I did with a bottle of whiskey, really. It's the first 25,000 really commission free. Yeah. They take a cut. I think it's a 90-10 split. You take 90%, they take 10. But the first $25,000, that's per individual account. They don't take anything. You take it all. which is quite a lot of money, actually. If you've got 20 accounts, theoretically, you're going to make $500,000 off all that before they start taking any money. Why they do it or not, I'm guessing they figure most people won't get there, but I don't know. But, so this is interesting. There's kind of like a failure there. I would say that is going to get trapped, but the trouble is we're moving up. I don't really want to go short here. I'm not one of those type of traders that pick kind of levels. I mean, it didn't work anyway. So I've got that at a leg and a leg. And the reason I've done it there is because of that correction. So are we going to get up here? Your guess is as good as mine. I would certainly think people will be taking profit there, and there's probably going to be people there that are selling there. But at the moment, from my point of view, we're moving up. So I'm not necessarily looking for shorts. There's nothing interests me longs here either. They take 10%. So everything you make, you keep 90% of, which is still, it's still, plenty there. But, you're allowed to make $25,000 per individual account. So you've got 20 accounts. There's, you could theoretically take $500,000 out of those accounts before they start taking 10%. So I wouldn't worry about that. You'll still make plenty of money by doing that. This thing is super strong now, isn't it? I mean, 80 points any minute now. So cleared that area, no bother. So is that a leg with a correction and now moving up again? So really, to get in on this, we need something like this, don't we? Somewhere along those lines. Oh, you can't move them, can you? That one there. It was just a bit too far off that EMA for me. Yeah, I mean, we had that little. I had this on the little kind of micro. You could argue it's a. Yeah, you just never know, do you? Yeah, I mean, you likely think that bar there, there's bound to be some short in there, isn't there? And then you've got a lower high there, and that triggered up. So yeah, you'd likely think they get taken out. I don't think it was a massive bar, was it? So 3.5 points ish, somewhere around about there, depending on where you got in. Okay, excuse me just a minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Where's me? Video capture. Let me just switch that off, otherwise the damn thing's going to follow me around the room. I'll be 1 minute. Should bring me back. Nope. Follow me. He's gone again. Lance is missing. No, I wasn't missing. I was beckoned by the single malt. Beautiful day in the UK again today. We've got currently hot. I don't know what temperature is. I think it's about 19 degrees actually. Whiskey, single malt. It's got Lafroy glass, but it's the 10-year-old Chag. 46.5% non-chill filtered. It's the peated one, the peated type. After that first loss in the win, I need it. After the I need to calm the nerves. So push up at a bounce. So you may even put that there. Actually, no, maybe not. Single malt, nectar of the gods. So where is this thing going? Been a guru after making money. No, Rolex. Oh, relax with a drink. I thought you said Rolex. Can't afford a Rolex. I've got Rolex's little brother. Yeah, the Tudor. It's about a third of the price of a Rolex. Okay, channel with a break. So what is going on here? I still think that thing has made me look too... I need stretching out a bit. I think that's a bit better. Okay, so channel with a break. Now, such a big move like that, if this is a break, I'd expect this to come down in two legs. So I'm avoiding a trade here in the middle. So, my guess is we do something along those lines. Something like that. I can't see how it's anything else bar a break. We're clearly moving up nice and strongly here. I got Tudor from Rolex's old college. Roommate, yeah, it's nice actually. I mean, that one I bought about couple of years ago. It cost me around just under £3,000. They're about 3848 now, but I do like the watches. I've had about 3 or 4 Amigas, 1, 2, 3 Amigas actually. I've had a couple of the C Masters, 2 of them, the mid size and the gent size. I think that was about 12, 15 years ago. And I had the Moonwatch as well, about 6 years ago, which I sold actually to start a business to buy a van. I had the Amiga Speedmaster, the one with the Hesselite, the Moonwatch with the Hesselite, come in a beautiful black presentation box. Absolutely lovely watch. I'm not really a jewellery person, but I do like a watch. It just fascinates me, all the hundreds of little micro pieces which go together just to create this perfect little piece of metal, for want of a better word. Are you running 3 different toolbars? Max Ninjas, yeah, I think so, yeah. These are Yans, these are Max, and these are Ninja Traders, so yeah. Was that the dark side? No, that was a bit more expensive. The dark side of the moon is a black face with a black band, isn't it? It's a black, almost looks like a canvas band. Lovely watch. I think they're about 8,000 or 9,000, or they were at the time I bought mine. Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about them, like this one, the Tudor one, is quite weighty, and I like quite a weighty watch. But because of the Hesselite, which was it's almost like a posh word for plastic. It's like a tough polycarbonate. When they cleared the watch for, I think it was for the space flight in 1969, wasn't it? The only thing they specified change was the crystal, because if it's shattered in space, they'd have millions of bits of. But it was good that the Amiga won over Rolex, Longines, a bunch of others. It was the only one that stood up to the test, but it's an absolutely classic, beautiful watch. Black and silver, just, you can wear it with anything. But I had my first Amiga, when was it? It was years ago. I paid £600 for it. It was, crikey, it's got to have been 18 years ago, something like that. Heart rate. No, I've got a smartwatch which does that. The thing is, I love I watch videos on YouTube. There's a guy I watch, an American guy, which people sell send him watches, specific, lots of Rolex and stuff like that, that they may have been handed down and they're bruised and battered, and he takes them apart, cleans them, and puts them back together. I love watching stuff like that. I've always been kind of a take it apart and build it kind of person, but you know, all the bits and pieces that go into the watch, I think is absolutely fascinating. I've always been sort of interested in horology. Posh word. Okay, we're getting this second leg down. It is fascinating, I've got to say, but Rolex have just gone through the roof. They've just screwed the whole thing. Rolex have, you can't get a new Rolex for love nor money. And the trouble is, that's pushed the second-hand price up. It's cheaper to buy a new Rolex than a second-hand one, but you just can't get them. There's waiting lists galore. I've tried in the past. I had a business years ago, around about 2005, and I was making 70, 80,000 British pounds a year. Then I was doing really well, and I had a couple of Amigas at a Patek. Yeah, that's way out of my league. That is. I think a basic bog standard steel case, no fancy gold, no fancy stones. You're talking about 40, 50,000 and up, aren't you? For a Patek. Yeah, I mean, Rolex, you just can't get Rolexes at the moment. You've got to put your name on waiting lists and stuff like that. It's just gone silly. They've done it that way. I don't quite know why they're on about. I think they're trying to choose who wear Rolex. Yeah, I mean, Patek Philippe's are super expensive. Super expensive. I like watching some of these YouTube videos, you know, with the rich and famous, what do they use? And I know Leonardo DiCaprio's got the, it's the Tiffany, isn't it? The Patek Philippe Tiffany. If I had a lot of money, I'd spend some money on watches, I would. I just think they're absolutely, if you take them apart and have a look at the insides and you just think about the craftsmanship. I've even watched some of those where some of these Chinese models that are coming out are absolutely art in as about as good as you can get, really. But some of these, okay, so I'm expecting another leg down here. This is a nice correction, this. Some of these, what they call deep fake ones, or whatever they call them, not deep fake. They're supposed to be incredibly good fakes, and I think you pay $1,000 for them in some cases. And I saw an expert who takes them apart, cleans them, and he said that they were incredibly good, but they did certain tests and checks on them. But when you come into the fine detail and zoom in, it's amazing the quality. That's the minute quality that's in the detail of the real thing. And that's why you realise why you're paying, you know, sort of big amounts of money. But I very nearly bought a second-hand Rolex about 8 or 10 years ago for $4,500. I wish I had done now, because second-hand, they're worth 3 times that. But I watched a program about this American guy that had, it was like a family heirloom. His dad wore it all his life. Well, since he was, I think he was based in Germany, I think, at the back end of the war. And he bought this Rolex for something like £75 or something like that. He used a month's salary and he wore it all his life. And when his dad passed away, it was literally bruised and battered. And he sent it to this guy and he strips it all down, cleans it, and you know, even the quality of them, it was so old. I mean, a watch like that will last you a lifetime, and then you'll get your money back. They're not for everyone, but I've always been fascinated by the sheer quality. I would like a Rolex. There's just so much money. I like the Pepsis. This is kind of why I bought this one. It's kind of similar to a Pepsi, but Pepsi's more blue and red. This is kind of a black and red. So this is interesting. This is 2 legs. This is very much a correction. Trouble is you can get caught out if you don't know what you're doing. So is there an overshoot here? If I take a long here, it's going to be a risk, but it's a risk that could pay off. I'm not sure it's going to do what I think it's going to do. I was hoping for some strong resistance here. So it's a 12 tick bar there. It may work, but I'm not going to take the risk. It's very tempting, I've got to say. There's just something about it that I don't like. Now it's probably going to work. It's going to come down to, yeah, so that's a correction to me. But I would have preferred it bounce up here. I can't see it's taken any other liquidity out by that one. So I'm just going to sit tight. If we get a higher low, I may have a go. But there's just something about this that just is making me a bit nervous. It is a correction. I'd prefer this correction a little bit. They are side by side, so that's the good thing. So there's a failure on the 1,000 tick chart there, trapping some shorts there. And it may work. It's just 15 ticks. It's very tempting. I'm going to have a go at it.
Order submitted.
Not good. I think the safest place is here. It's more of a risk. It's more of a risk. We'll see. Can't remember where the other one is. I can't find the other chart. Is it that one? No. Is it that one? Is it that one? That's the one. That's the one. I took the higher low there. This will be it for the day if it doesn't work. Oh no, that's so frustrating. This is going to be a stinger. This is going to stop me out for sure. I could go down to here, but it's such a big risk. Oh dear, Lance, what are you doing? Pickle. Oh dear. It's too much of a risk, that. Too much of a risk. Channel break, no low. Let's see what happens. It is a correction. That's all I can do is put it there and just hit and hope. Oh, no. It's bound to take me out, isn't it? It's bound to. Oh, Lancy boy. Oh, I thought I might be right for a minute. I can't see this working now. I think I'm best off getting out here and count me lucky stars, if it works. Oh dear. I think it's in the best place anyway. Channel break, no lows. If it gets me, it gets me, but I'm just going to have to sit tight and see what happens. That's frustrating.
Order filled.
Oh, God damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Oh, that's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. I've been battered today. Oh, that's so annoying. Two legs down. Oh, well. So what am I down? An average of about $500, I think. Oh, it's so annoying. So annoying. It won't let me take another trade now anyway. No, it won't. I'm done for the day. Okay, folks, bad day for today. It was bound to happen. So down 125 yesterday, down around about 500 today, and never move the stop. The trouble is, I thought it was going to work for a minute. You know, channel break, new low, strong move off there. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it'll take you out for a tick and move it, but well. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm down a total of about $600 on average, something like that from yesterday and today. But it works like that sometimes. So 4 trades and I'm back in the green, but it's frustrating. Market's been hard lately. Having a great run. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? But I am done now. I can't trade if I want to now anyway, so I will leave it there, folks. So best of luck if you keep trading. Failing that, have a good day. Stay safe and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.